Good morning, everyone. This is Ivan Stana with Resco speaking. Hope you can hear me. If not, please let us know either by unmuting your phone or using the instant messenger. Uh, Thank you very much, first of all, that you joined our webinar. Today, we would like to share with you more information and give you some overviews and live demonstrations how you can use Resco Woodford tool in order to customize the mobile CRM application. So first of all, let me start by giving you a very quick overview of the application. The one you see right now is optimized for iPad, and I'm using a special tool that allows me to show the display and the screen of the iPad on my laptop. So the application consists of the panel on the left side where I have access to the default entities. As you can see, I can preview dashboards. I have access to the map entity where I see my current location, and when I zoom out a little bit and move over to the area where my records are located, in this case it's in United States, I can preview all the records directly on the map. The records are represented by colorful pins which are interactive, so I can tap each of the pin, and when I tap the little blue button I get detailed information about this particular record. As you can see, the details of the record are designed in number of tabs, so I have basic contact information here. I have list of associated contacts, quotes, orders, and also more options, for example, invoices and activities. When I change to the notes and create a new note for this particular record and change to the attachment tab, right here you can capture a signature, or you can use that for a quick drawing, or I would be able to capture a picture if my device would have a built-in camera. So for example, if I take my iPad and hit this option, you can now see what I see when I look out of the window of the office. And I can use this picture, attach it uh, attach it as a note and synchronize with the CRM server. Except of that, you can see that we have also access to activities, so I can preview all activities and filter them. I can display appointments, emails, phone calls, service activities, tasks, or all of them at the same time. It's very easy to create a new activity by different type. So for example, if I create a new appointment, I select regarding which account it is, define a subject, location, maybe date, some more details, and just easily save this. Then we have a special view of the appointment scheduled in the calendar. That's Tourplan. As you can see, in Tourplan you can change between agenda view, day view, week view, and month view. In the agenda view, I have the preview of all appointments I have scheduled for today. When I change to a day view, I can preview these appointments on my timeline. I can very easily create a new appointment just by tapping and holding my finger on the timeline, and then I can position the new appointment right there and fill in the details about it. And just for better picture, I can also change to a week view and a month view. And then I have access to standard entities like accounts, which I can either scroll down or use a search bar. And when I tap the record, I get the detailed information I showed you before. And the very first example would be that I will add a new entity into this application. As you can see, in this case, I have access to these entities, and my example would be that I will add a competitor's entity into this application. So let's have a look how we can do it. First of all, I will launch Woodford. This is the very easy to use tool. You can use to add new entities, custom entities, redesign the mobile views, and define synchronization filters, create multiple views, etc. So it's quite powerful. I'm using the standalone version, which I have installed on my laptop. And the very first thing what I'll do is that I connect Woodford to my test CRM environment. So I have filled in the URL about the server, my username and password, and confirm by OK. So now Woodford is being connected to the to my test CRM environment. Here I have a basic menu on the top where I can create new mobile project. That means you can create a new customization of the mobile application. You can edit the existing ones, define properties, and you have a couple of more options here. For example, you can also import, export, or clone the existing projects. As for example, the projects you create in Woodford can be used simultaneously with our other additional tool, which is called Mobile CRM Studio. I prepared a test mobile project right here. So I will start editing this one. By the fact that we connected Woodford to the CRM environment, I can now see all the entities that are available on that CRM server right here on the left side. So as you can see, I have cases, contacts, uh, activities, invoices, etc. right here. The entities that are in full color, that means that they are available in the mobile project and in the application. The fade out ones are available but are not enabled for the mobile project. So my example is that I will add competitor entity into this application. So I just click on it and put a tick to enable and save this change. This means that the competitor entity is now part of the mobile project. And as you can see, there's a new arrow here which I can click on to expand it. And I have a couple of options. Let's start by selecting the fields that I want to use in the mobile app. So here you can see that all of them are fade out. So I just pick up those that I want to have in the application. So I pick up city, country, street, zip code, and state or province. As you can see, when I highlight particular field, I can also define permissions. This way I can define the rights for the mobile user. So when all of them are checked in, the mobile user would be able to read, create, and also update this field. And if, for example, this field would be a phone number or an email address or a URL, I can also set formatting for such field right here. So in case it would be an email, I will say this field is email, and then when I change back to the application and go into some details, like here, you can see that this action button in the right upper corner would change dynamically depending on the nature of the field. So if I, for example, highlight the phone number, you can see that by tapping this button, I would have the option to call the phone number, or when I highlight the email address, I can send the email directly from the application. Now, so now I selected couple of fields. I save this change and I can proceed with designing a mobile view and a mobile form for this newly created entity. So let's start by creating a new mobile view. I click on new. The view will be called competitors. It will be a public view, and I pick up one of the predefined templates. So in my case, it would be a primary and two secondary cells templates. I confirm by OK. And when I zoom this designer a little bit, you can see that we actually designing how one row in the application will look like. When I change back to the application and go to the list of all records, you can see that the row consists of one primary cell that includes the name of the account and then there are three secondary cells that include the street name, a zip code, and the city. In my case, the one row will consist of the name of the competitor, and then I have two additional cells here. So I select this one, and just by double clicking one of the fields that I picked up before, I add it right there. And to the second one, I'll put name of the street. You can also dynamically change the size of the cells. You can add here additional fields, whatever is required or needed by you or your customers. Moreover, you can also define style. So if you don't like the color, the size of the font, and etc., you can set it up all right here. So we define the mobile view, and the second thing that we will do, we will define a mobile form. So we will create a new form which will be editable. In default, the mobile form consists of two tabs, General tab and Address tab, just like you can see right here. What we're actually doing in the application now is when you go into the detail of a record, and we're designing the editable view, so you can see that for the account there are three tabs: basic info, address tab, and notes. In my case, I have here two tabs, but I can very easily add additional tabs just by clicking the add button, so I can have as many as is needed. uh, And you can also easily rename the tab just by clicking right here into the cell or this button. So now when we have three tabs here, let's put the fields on each of them. So I'll highlight the general one, and I just drag and drop the fields on the form. So the general one will include the name of the competitor and info when it was created and modified. The address tab will have all information about the location. And you can also very easily reorder them. And instead of test one, I will show you how we can add an iframe. So when I highlight the form, I can bring an iframe right here. So iframe means that you can bring a web browser window directly into the application. So when I call, for example, YouTube portal, if you want to show your customers some corporate videos, for example, you just define the URL. So we're almost done. I save this form, and what we have to do next is go to the home part. Home section displays all available entities, so basically this list on the very left side. And to make the new entity accessible for the mobile user, I just drag and drop it from the list of available items on the home list. I save this last change, and all I have to do now is click Publish All. By clicking Publish All button, we're now storing this new mobile project on the CRM server. So now when I go to the application, what I'll actually do, I will synchronize it. So I will tap this arrow right here. I connect the application to the same CRM server. So now it will check for all changes that we created with records. And seems like I have a little technical problem with the tool that displays the iPad, so I will just restart it. Okay, here we go. So as you can see, I got the message that the application was updated. So I click OK, and there you can see there's the new entity competitors. There's no icon right now, but that can be added through Woodford as well. When I tap it, I get the mobile view, so the list of all competitors designed exactly the way that we did. And when I click on detail, I get 3 tabs. The first one shows me the basic information about competitor, the second one street, and the third one shall bring YouTube portal right here. So as you can see, here's the YouTube web page. So this is how easy it is to use Woodford for adding new entities, and same applies also for custom entities into the existing application that is available on all app stores or on our web page. The next thing I would like to show you is how we can create multiple views. So for the same entity, competitor, when I click on views, we can see the view that we just created. And to create multiple views is very easy because I just create a new view. Instead of competitors, I will call it competitors A. It will be a public view again with the same template. I will just quickly put there some fields. And now in order to create a different view, I will edit the filter. So here I will make a condition. I will add a condition that in this view I will only show all competitors that whose name begins with letter A. A very simple one. Let's save this change. Let's also save this new view. We can also set which one will be the default view. So when I highlight the first one and click properties, I can say this is the initial view and click OK. And when we're done, I just publish this changed mobile project again. And now I go back to the application. I synchronize it with the CRM server. I get the message again. And now when I go to competitors, you can see there's the eye on the right side. And here I can choose between the two views, competitors and competitors starting or beginning with the letter A. So this is the way you can create multiple views per any entity in the application. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. Please unmute your microphone, or you can use the instant messaging right here. If you have any questions to those things that you just saw. And if not, I will continue with next thing, and that is we will define search options on the view. So when I'm in the view, I now have the option to edit search. So I will just click it, and here you can choose by which field will be using the filter. So the default one usually applies for the name, but we can, for example, also search by the city, where you can also choose the method. If you use begins with, we will apply the filter or the search for the starting letters, contains for all letters, ends with the last characters, obviously. So let's use begins with. We'll hit OK, save this change, and again to apply it we will publish all. So when we go back to the application and just quickly sync it, I'll go to the mobile view, change to the all competitors as I applied the search for this mobile view, and I will start typing, you can see that when I put their letter I, it shows me advanced bike components competitor because it's located in the city Irving. If I use this one, for example, it shows me competitor from city Oxnard. So this is how easy you can apply different search methods on the existing fields. Okay, next thing I prepared to show you today is how you can redesign dashboards. When I launch the dashboard that I have out of the box in this application, you can see I have a pie chart on the top that shows some orders. Then I have opportunities view that shows absolutely no data. And then on the right side, I have list of all orders. And let's now bring here something totally different. So what you do in Woodford, you just scroll on the top and you have the option of dashboards right here. This is the default one called main. So I double click it and this is how it looks like. As we have no opportunities, I will select this opportunities part and delete it. And I can also delete the orders and the order view. And you can define also the number of cells or the views that you want to have on the dashboard. At maximum, we can have up to 16 different parts where you can place different type of views, iframes or charts. But that would be probably too much information for a user. So let's continue with the standard 2x2. So on this one, we will add a new view that will show all orders. And I want to have it big, so I just hover or place the mouse over the side and just drag it to the right. So here I'll have all orders. And for example, here you can bring an iframe directly on the dashboard. So I will show there our corporate web page. And to this one, I will place a chart that will show the opportunities or orders. When I'm done, I confirm by save and close. And let's see how it will apply on the application. So I switch back to the app, synchronize it. Okay, and let's see what happens. So at the top, I have list of all orders. I can easily scroll it. If I want to see details, I just tap particular record and I get the detailed information about the order on the right side. And at the bottom, I have a web page right here that's showing Resco, and on the other side, I have list of all orders. Okay, I just close this one and let me continue. One more thing I would like to show you regarding the filters is how you can set synchronization filter, because sometimes it happens that you might have really large amount of data per single entity and it doesn't make sense to pull it all down to the mobile device. And that case could be with orders. So I'll search for the order, and when I highlight the order, you can see I have the option to set up sync filter. So let's create a new condition for orders, and that would be that I will only synchronize all orders that were modified in the last and let's say 2 months, because having older orders doesn't make sense for me. So I will create this new condition, I save and close, and publish this change. So let's have a look what orders I have in the application now. You can see there's a lot of orders here, and when I sync it, it was updated, and now I only get the orders for the last 60 days. So that's almost it, but I would like to also show you one more thing, and that's the administration capabilities of Woodford. So let me go one step back, and here not only I have access to all mobile projects that were created per this CRM server, but I can also manage mobile devices. So when I click it, I have a very good overview of all mobile devices that are being connected to this CRM server. So for example, you can see the device ID, the device operating system, if it's iPhone, iPhone 4S, iPad, or any other device. You also see the name of the device right here, what version of the mobile CRM application is being used. So as an administrator, you can, for example, force your mobile users to update the CRM application and make sure that they're using the latest version. Uh, Moreover, you can also wipe out a database remotely. This is very useful if a mobile device is lost or stolen. So just by putting a tick right here, you can remotely wipe out the data at the next synchronization. And moreover, you also have information about the latest activity. So you get the details when it was synchronized, what time and what date. And a part of that, you also have access to mobile users. So you can see who actually is using the application, the user, and here you can also assign mobile licenses. So here on the right side, I have information about how many licenses I have available, how many are used, and you can easily add additional mobile users. You can enable the license for them, disable them, or completely delete a mobile user. So that's it for this very first session about Woodford. And I hope you have some questions now. Uh, so please feel free to use the instant messenger uh, to ask or unmute your microphone if you would like to see something specific. Are there any questions? If not at this time, and you might have additional questions after the session.
Hi. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? I think I know the answer, but I just want to confirm. You can't create more than one form on the device, correct?
Can you please repeat the question as we didn't hear you clearly?
Can you create more than one form per entity?
No, actually you can create only one form per entity, but the idea is that you can add there multiple tabs. Okay, so if you require to add there more information, you can divide them into several tabs on a single form. So as in this case, for example, you have one tab that shows info, one tab that shows the address, list of products, notes, for example.
Now, can you customize the tabs that it should only be visible in certain conditions?
Uh, this is something that is more complex customization, and it's not allowed through Woodford at this point. but we have a second level tool which is called Mobile CRM Studio, and it can be achieved through this one.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? So if there are no questions, again, you can reach me either by email at ivan@resco.net or on Twitter at Ivan Stano. Please feel free to contact me with anything that is of your interest. And I would like to thank you for attending this webinar. And we'll organize more of them in the future, so please stay tuned, as we will really like to have you on with us. So thank you again. That's it, and look forward to meeting with you at one of the next sessions.